Today, we're going to go over the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. So I think sometimes people get confused about what those are. So the first one is a pre-qualification. That's going to be your first step in getting pre-approved. So before we do anything, you're going to schedule a call with me and we're going to set aside 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes it's quicker than that, sometimes it takes longer. And we're going to do a pre-qualification. What a pre-qualification is you essentially telling me, here's how much I make, here's what my debts are, and here are the assets I have and what I have for closing. We'll go through that, give you a rough idea of about where you qualify and what your purchase price will be, essentially going over your cash to close, all of those things that make up the most important aspects of purchasing and your loan. From there, we will then send you the application link. So that's your next step, is to fill out the application, go through the application. You can upload all the needed documents, and we initially do a soft credit pull. So the first thing we're going to do is a soft credit pull. I think the credit pull can be a deterrent for people because a lot of people think that it's a massive hit to your credit when you pull your credit. Typically, we see about a 2 to 5 point decrease in your credit score. So unless you're someone that's inquiring a lot about credit from different, credit cards and buying a car and all of this, and you have a lot of hard pulls on your credit, it typically will not make a massive decrease in your overall credit score. And when you do have your credit pulled when you're shopping for a mortgage, you have 30 days within that 30-day window to shop around. So you can go to a different lender, have your credit pulled, go through the pre-approval process, shop rates, all of that, and you do not get another hit to your credit. So essentially, the credit bureaus are looking at that and seeing that you're shopping around for a mortgage. So you've gone through, you've filled out the application, you've uploaded all the needed documents. We start with a soft pull. We want to make sure that everything makes sense. So are we on track? Is income looking the way we expected? All of the things are going to make sense. Once we know that it's making sense, we will then do that hard credit pull. So once we have the hard credit pull, we're then going to do something called automatic underwriting. So essentially, it's kind of like AI. It isn't AI, but it's the easiest way to explain it. We basically take your overall loan file and we submit it for the automatic underwriting system to give us the stamp of approval. This does not necessarily mean that your loan is going to be approved, but it just takes us to a little bit more guarantee checks for our errors to make sure that we are staying within the guidelines. So once we've done that, we then will issue your pre-approval. You're going to get your pre-approval letter with your max pre-approval amount, and then you're also going to get a cost estimate that has about 3 different loan scenarios that we can discuss on our pre-approval call. So we'll have our pre-approval call, set that up, go through everything, start to finish, what these numbers look like, why we got to the number we got to, and how are you going to strategize to win off when you're submitting offers. So depending on how your loan file looks, some people we will send to be pre-underwritten. So what that means is we're going to send your loan file to an underwriter. The underwriter is essentially the person that gives the loan the stamp of approval, says that we are following all the guidelines the way that we should be, and essentially approves the loan at the end. So if we can have an underwriter look at that up front and do a pre-underwrite, that strengthens your offer, that makes sure, let's say that you have income that maybe varies month to month. That is something that we would really like a underwriter to look at. So once we get that stamp of approval, you then have an even stronger offer and a stronger pre-approval to go out and make your offers. So once we've issued the pre-approval, we've gone through the numbers, you fully feel comfortable with what that payment is. You know what your max is. We've talked about strategy. We've talked about interest rates. Where are they at? They're fluctuating up and down. They're all over the place these days. Then you get to the fun part, which is shopping. So whether you have a real estate agent or you don't, we can help find you someone. We have our preferred agents that we think in each specific area will guide you and also making sure that that personality fit is right. So, if you have any questions, if you want to go through the pre qualification and kind of just see where you're at, if it makes sense from there, we then go through the pre approval. Please reach out. You can schedule a call using my Calendly, and you can also call, email, or text anytime.